easy go.
What's going on, guys? DFS Warstrike here, and here I'm going to be breaking down the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational. Before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I know it's been a couple weeks. We kind of just sat back. I felt a little bit uneasy about the last couple of slates, so I kind of sat back on this one. Just enjoyed those, and now we're going to get bounced back right into this slate on DraftKings. With that being said, I just want to give kind of a brief background of what we're expecting going into this weekend. It is the TPC Southwind Golf Course. It's a par 70. It's Bermuda grass, designed by Ron Pritchard. It is a no-cut event, so that kind of changes things a little bit drastic more when it comes to strategy. You're really just going for points. You don't really have to worry about the cut line and people sweating it out on Friday evening. So with that being said, let's get right into it. And I got my model here with me and everything ready to go. And the first one we are going to jump with, if you're new to the channel, I start at the top tier range of pricing and kind of just work my way down and give you kind of my favorite plays all the way to 6K. If you guys have any questions, you can comment into the channel. You can find me on my Twitter, which I'll post the link down below. But other than that, guys, I'm going to get started into this slate. I'm excited to break it down, ready to get this going. So my first play here, it's going to be Brooks Koepka. Brooks, over the last couple of weeks at the Open Championship, Travelers, and U.S. Open, you can see he's been very, very efficient. On my model, he comes in as the #1 birdie or better player, so that is something that I really like going into this weekend. If you look at the birdies, especially over the last 3 tournaments that he's had, 16, 19, 15, with back-to-back tournaments with Eagles, I do really like here. I think he has a really high chance of placing really high in this tournament as well. He's had a great amount of success here at this tournament as well. So I do think that this is something that we can take advantage of going into this weekend. I think that he's going to have a high placement. Last year in 2020, he got 2nd place. So if you guys want to roll Brooks Koepka at this range, I am all for it. I think he is a great play. So I will probably have a lot of Brooksy going into this weekend. I do like Spieth, but I like Dustin Johnson a lot this weekend as well. He did get cut at the 3M Open, but I think Dustin Johnson is fit to have a good weekend here. I think he comes in 4th on my model, which is something that was really intriguing to me that I find really well that he can do here. So the thing here, he won in 2018, and 4 out of the last 5 tournaments that he's played here, he's placed in at least the top 12. He's actually won this tournament twice, as he won the St. Jude back in 2012. So I do think here that he has the ability, especially off the tee. That's something that's a big category, not necessarily off the tee, but GIR is something that's really big for me going into this week. I think you have to have a really great driving game coming into this week, and you got to finish it with some solid putts. So I do think we can expect some high things here for DJ. I do like DJ a lot. If you guys want to roll with him, I'm all for DJ. I think that he's going to be a solid, safe play. And I think he's a good pivot off of Spieth and kind of like the other top tier guys. So if you want to go to DJ, I'm all for it. That's really it for me. When it comes to the 10K range, I'm not really going to touch Rory that much. I will have Xander and Morikawa. I like Brooksy more than them, so he's cheaper, so why not go to him? I'm more paying for the expensive guys and then going to the lower range. So over here at 9K is kind of a good field that I like here. I found quite a bit of good plays here. Victor Hovland was one of them. That is one of the top players for me. You can see there, when he won the BMW for the Euro, 132, but the Open Championship, he got 12th. I think that was something that was great. I really think that he's going to be kind of chalky. I think he'll be high owned going into this one, but his tee to green has been really off the charts lately. I think the only time he got negative was at the Players. His approach has been very good. So he is somebody that I'm intrigued with. Last year, he did struggle at this tournament. His off the tee game was weak going into there. But I think here he can bounce back considering how great it's been as of late. So I'm probably going to go with him. If you look at 4 of the last 5, birdie or better is something that I kind of pay attention to because that's how we're going to get points. That's really what we're basing everything, not everything off of, but that's basically where most of our points are going to come from this weekend. With it being no cut, you really just want to rack up the birdies and eagles, and then hopefully they can just place high on Sunday. So 15, 24, 11, 14, I think that's solid here. The U.S. Open, he struggled, but I think this is something that's going to be solid here. So I do like Victor Hovland if you guys have the money to pay up at 9,700. Right below him is Luis. I mean, this dude's solid. Back-to-back tournaments with over 100 fantasy points. I'm not against him at all, guys. If you want to roll with Luis, go ahead. You know, he was my lock a couple weeks ago when he lost at the U.S. Open, but still second place finish. I mean, that's a great place. He's really on a roll right now. This is one of probably the best stretches of golf I think he's ever played. I think he's had, yeah, so he's had a tied for second, tied for third, 42nd, second, 18th. He's really been going off the charts here. So I do like him a lot if you wanted to go to Luis this weekend. He comes in number 3 in my model, which Victor Hovland came in second as well. That was another reason why I like Victor Hovland going into this. His good drives were ranked 5th for me. For Luis, it's really just putting, and around the green or something that are big for me as well going into this weekend. I think he's really good for that going into this. I mean, you look at the birdies, 21, 15, 18, 13, 12, 14. You can just see the double-digit birdies that he's getting. So couple Eagles in there, not too many. So I do like Luis if you guys want to go with him this weekend. I think that is another solid option for you. Another one that's probably more GPP, I think. A lot of people may pivot to him, but I don't really see too much high going with him. I do like Daniel Berger here. He comes in 16th in the model. I think Berger is a solid option here if you guys want to jump to him. He got 8th at the eighth at the Open, and then 7th at the U.S. Open. You can see there as well the birdies, double digits, really high. 11, 14, 11, 15, 11. Then he had the 24 at AT&T, then 18. So, I mean, his birdies are high. So, I do like Daniel Berger here if you wanted to roll with him going into this weekend. I think he's lined up for a good weekend here, especially with how good his approaching around the green game and putting as well. His overall just tee to green has been decent. His off the tee at the John Deere and Charles Schwab, he did lose strokes in, but before that, he's just been gaining strokes for pretty much all of 2021. So, I like Berger here. I think Berger's a great option if you guys want to go with him. And then we'll go, I think, to that's really it for the 9K. So now we'll go into the 8K, which the 8K I wasn't super high on. I found a couple plays in here that I liked, but really the 9K was somewhere where I'm really gonna stick with a lot. I think the 9K is really great. There's a couple plays in here for me. Webb Simpson was one of them. I think a lot of me just holding back on him is I had a lot of him at the Rocket Mortgage, and that really cost me going in there as he missed a cut. But you can see there at the Open, he really bounced back and had a really good tournament. 16 birdies off of there. So I do like Webb Simpson here. I think he is a solid option. At St. Jude, you know, last year he got 12, 2019 he got second, 18 he got 24. So I do think that he is a solid option here. His off the tee game is really struggling when it goes there. He's lost strokes every year there, but his approach game and his putting game and his overall tee to green is just straight solid. So I do like Webb Simpson if you wanted to jump to him here this weekend. I think he is a solid option if you guys wanted to play him. Next up, I kind of skimmed over these guys. None of them are too high for me. But Corey Connors would be somebody else that I could go with. I like Corey Connors here. As you can see, the Open, he got 11 birdies with 2 eagles, really high scoring with 81 points. So I do think Corey Connors here is a solid option. At the St. Jude as well, his off the tee game was solid. He's gotten 30th and then 27th. So I do think that he is a good play here. If you want to go with Corey Connors, that's kind of like a GPP play more than cash. I probably won't touch him in cash, but Corey Connors is somebody that I like. Last person here, Tommy Fleetwood. I mean, Fleetwood's been great. Look at the birdies, 13, 20, 17, 10, 13. I think Tommy Fleetwood is a solid option here. He has great success at this course. His off the tee game is pretty much always on point. You can see here at St. Jude, he got 35th, 4th, and then 14th over the last 3 years. His approach game is always positive. his putting, he's gaining strokes. His off the tee last year is kind of what put him at 35th as he lost strokes. But I think his tee game's somewhat better right now, so I'm for him this weekend. His overall tee to green is good at this course, so I do like Tommy Fleetwood. If you guys wanted to jump on him this weekend, I mean, you can see going down what he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of his last 7 tournaments. He's gotten double-digit birdies. So I think Fleetwood is a good option here if you guys wanted to go with him. He's been cutting down the bogeys as well as in single digits. The double bogeys is something I worry about, but if he can keep it to 1, I'm solid with that. So Tommy Fleetwood is somebody that I do like going into this weekend. Just to tell you what he comes in on my model, let me look real quick. Tommy Fleetwood actually comes in 40th, which is kind of low, but I think that's probably something that I'm going to overlook and just kind of ride with him this weekend. I'll probably have quite a bit of Tommy Fleetwood, to be honest. That's really it for me at the 8K range. One person I wanted to look at was somebody I wasn't super high on, but with the no cut event, with the birdies that he can get, I think that is a really solid option. You see, he has the ability to get 20s, and he's gotten in 2 out of the last 4 tournaments. He's gotten 20 birdies. So I think that Jason Kokrak could be a solid GPP play here if you guys want to go with him. 13 birdies, 14 there. Obviously, the U.S. Open was a struggle. But I do think that Jason Kokrak here in a no-cut event with the birdies that he's possible of putting up, I think that is a solid option. Harris English as well. Harris English actually comes in really high on my model. He actually came in first overall. So if you want to go with him, I'm all for it. I think he is a solid option if you want to go into it. His around the green, his approach, and his putting has all been solid. If he can just have his tee game on point, then there's no reason why this man can't place in the top 5 going into this weekend at 7,600. I'm all for that. You see how high the birdies have been lately. His lowest out of the last 5 is 11. I will definitely take that. 3 out of the last 4 tournaments, he's gotten the Eagles as well. So I do think that Harris English is a great play here if you wanted to go in with him this weekend. All right below him is Brian Harman, who's had been really solid over the last couple months, really. If you look right there at the Open Championship, 21 birdies, 17 at Travelers, U.S. Open 12 with 2 Eagles, and Charles Schwab 13. He struggled at John Deere Classic, which I had him in that week, obviously, of course. So I do like Brian Harman going into this weekend. If you guys want to roll with him, I think he is a solid option. He did play at the WGC St. Jude in 2018 and actually struggled a lot. But I think with the way he's playing overall, especially with his putting game and his around the green, I think he's going to be a solid option going into this weekend, especially at his price point. I'm all for it. I think I have one more play here. Oh no, excuse me, I got 2 more. Billy Horschel, I think, is a great play. You can see the birdies there at 7,100. I think he is a solid GPP play at 10, 14, 10, 17 birdies overall, 4 out of the last 5 tournaments. I think he is a solid option going into this week at 7,100. I don't really think he's going to kill us that much. So if you want to roll with him at this tournament, he's gotten 25th and 9th placements overall. His off the tees gained, his around the green, and his putting is phenomenal at this tournament. So if you want to go with him, I am all for that. He does have to bounce back his putting considering what he's been doing the last couple weeks, but at this tournament specifically, he does gain a lot of strokes putting. So I do like Billy this week, and I think he is a solid option. And then I have one more play for you in the 7K, and that's Ian Poulter again. I kind of been on Poulter the last couple weeks. If you guys have been following me, Poulter's been somebody that I've liked a lot. You can see the last 3 weeks specifically, or you can even count 4 out of the last 5, 16, 19, 16, 15 birdies. I mean, he's getting 15 or more 4 out of the last 5 weeks with the 13 birdie. He's getting decent placements for his price point at 7K. I think if he can place within the top 30 range, I think that's solid for him. I really like him going into this week. I think he's going to be a solid play if you guys want to go with him, especially with how high he can putt. His putting is off the charts going into this overall. Like, he can putt very high. So that's somebody I'm on as well. And then that's really it for me. Then we get to my favorite point, right? The 6K range. All of you know who pay attention over the last couple weeks, you know how much I love the 6K. We always play Sleeper of the Week on Twitter, where I give somebody out that I think is going to have really low ownership, and we hope for the best with them. So if you guys want to play that game and everything, you can follow me on Twitter, and I'll end up posting it tomorrow when I do my article and everything else. So here at 6K, I think Kevin Kisner is somebody that I like going into this. You can see here with the birdies 11, 21, and 14 over the last 3 tournaments that he has played, along with an eagle. I think he is a solid option here if you guys wanted to play him. At the Open Championship, he actually played solid. I think he just had a bad round 3. The round 3 was really the only thing that held him back. So if you guys want to go with him, I'm all for it. His putting has been tremendous over the last couple weeks. His off the tee and his overall tee to green is just solid. So if you guys want to go with Kisner, I'm all for it. 6,800. I think that's a great play. Next up, one more. I got 2 more actually in the 6K range that I want to talk about. Lucas Glover. See there, decent cuts, right? Like got cut at the Open Championship, cut at the Palmetto Championship. But look at the birdies when he plays well. John Deere Classic, he won 24 birdies. Rocket Mortgage, 18, 16. He's playing off the charts when he does play well. So if you are making multiple lines, I plead to you to have some Lucas Glover in your lineups, because I think that he is a great play for GPP purposes. With a no-cut event, he has the ability to score really high, especially with the birdies. You can see the 130, the 78, and the 64. And at 6,400, I don't want anything else. If he can get over 60 points, that's great. Like, that's perfect for me. I'm not really going to be too cautious on him. I think that he's a great GPP play if you make enough lines to do it. If you're only doing a single line, I probably wouldn't mess with him. But I think for people that play MME or just multiple lines, I think he is a solid play going into this weekend. Then my last one, the Discord always rides high on him, whether we think he's going to do good or bad. I've kind of been on and off with him over the last month or so. But Matt Jones, I think, is a solid play. Going into this tournament, the reason for that is I think he's just too cheap going into this. I mean, he's 6,200, especially with how great he's really been in 2021. I feel like that's a slap in the face. Now the last couple of weeks he has struggled, as you can see, but he does have the ability to get high birdies. You can see he got 18 and 12 at Travelers and Rocket Mortgage. So I do think he is a solid option. His off the tee game in 2020 at the WGC St. Jude was good. His putting was good. It's really just his approach game where he struggled at. So I think that's kind of something he's just accustomed to now. But with his around the green, his putting, his off the tee playing well, his overall tee to green should be fine going into this tournament. I do think that Matt Jones can be a great salary saver for you for GPP purposes. So if you want to have some Matt Jones, I'm all for it. But other than that, guys, that's all the picks for me. That's all I'm going to have. One thing I wanted to give a heads up on is I wanted to thank everybody for tuning into this video. And if you watch all the other videos, thank you so much for the support and everything you guys do on Twitter. I will be doing NFL videos. I kind of have my own breakdown there, and I will be doing certain videos over time for the NFL week by week, giving out my favorite plays for each position and stuff like that. So if you guys are into that, make sure you're aware of that, and that will be coming up very soon. So other than that, guys, that's it for me. If you have any questions, comment below. Please like, subscribe, and comment to the channel. Follow me on Twitter if you got any questions. Remember, Sleeper of the Week comes out tomorrow along with my Core 4 article, and I think we are lined up for a great week. But other than that, guys, that's it for me. Take care. See ya.